I'm going to go through the 1 to 4 family residential contract. This is used for single family homes, duplexes, triplexes, and quadruplexes. So when you go through this, you'll see the numbers over here. Those are paragraphs. So paragraph 1 has to do with the parties. Those are the people that are going to be buying and selling this property. So you have to put full legal names here in the buyer and seller blanks. The second part is the property. So this is the legal description. So the lot and block, the legal description of the property. And you will also have down here the address of the property. Improvements are just anything that has been permanently done to the house, to improve it. Under here, accessories are other things that have been done to the house that are attached to the house, like the stove, fireplace, swimming pool equipment, fireplace logs, security systems. Those are things that are attached to the property. So if anyone's going to take any of these, it needs to be excluded here in D. Okay, so in 2D, that's where we would put that. So if somebody wanted to take their chandelier that their grandmother gave them, or if somebody wants to take a bird bath in the front yard, so that's where they would put that. Sales price. So the cash portion of the sales price is going to be the down payment. Then under here, this is going to be what the loan is. And then at the bottom, it'll be the full offer price. So how much you're putting down, what the price of the loan or the loan amount is, and then the full offer price will be in the third blank in 3C. Leases. So if there are any leases, this will be added on to the contract as a party to the contract. So residential leases, that's going to be, for a rental, if you have a tenant in place, fixture leases or water softeners, solar panels, things like that. And natural resource leases are just going to be anything that is oil or gas or minerals that is affecting the property. If you scroll down here, this is the earnest money and termination paragraph. So here you will put down the amount of earnest money. This can be any amount. I mean, a lot of people do 1% of the offer price, but it can be anything you desire. That will be refunded at closing as long as you do not back out. And then you also have option money. So the option money, it says here is where the earnest money goes, and here is where the option money goes. The option money is, or the option fee, is paid also during that option period within 3 days of executing the contract. And it will, the termination of the option is right here. So it'll be however many days you want your option to last. So that's just the amount of time you have to back out for no reason at all. That's when you do your inspections and everything. Down here, you have your title policy and survey. So you decide who's going to pay. Is the seller going to pay? Is the buyer going to pay? Are you guys going to split it? Then you check off both. And then we put the title company here. Down here, we talk about the survey. Will the survey read amended or deleted things from the policy, or are we going to have it read shortages in the area? And this just means, will the title company be covering something that is not disclosed at the time of purchase? So if there are any encroachments or there's, any boundary issues, those will actually be covered by the title company if you say that, yes, they will be amended to read shortages in the area at the expense of who? Okay, we'll get our title commitment. This is talking about the survey. And when will we get that survey? So will we get it 3 days after the effective date, 10 days after the effective date? Who will be paying for the survey, the buyer or the seller? This also talks about, the buyer obtaining a new one and the seller obtaining a new one. Objections, this is just talking about, are you going to be doing a daycare here, or are you going to, you have to make sure that there are no objections to you owning this home. That's going to prohibit some activity. So again, owning a daycare, or there are some other things that might prohibit a certain activity. So you will get your title commitment and you will have this many days. If something were to come up that, you did not want to happen, would have this many days to back out as well. Title notices. This is just all from the title company. Membership in Property Owners Association. This is about the HOA. So are you in an HOA? Are you not in an HOA? You will find that out and put that in there. Talking about tax district. These are just some definitions for you to look at. Under here, required notices. So is this neighborhood in a MUD or a PID? So a MUD would be a multiple utility district, a municipal utility district, water district, an improvement district. So we would find that out and put that on here. This is talking about the seller's disclosure. So have you received the notice? Have you not received the notice? If you haven't received it, we're going to want to receive it within a certain amount of days. The seller is not required. This would just be for someone that maybe this was the estate of someone and they never lived in the property. And so they don't have to. Again, more definitions here. Accepting the property as is, or you want them to make repairs. So that's what you'd put there. Again, more things that you can just read through. Residential service contracts. This here is, that's talking about the home warranty. So we would say that you're going to have the seller contribute this amount to your home warranty for the year. Is the broker or sales agent part of this transaction? And then a closing date, you would pick your closing date. Typically people do about 30 days, but you can just ask your lender. Number one, ask your lender and see about how long they think it would take for you to be able to be cleared to close with the lender. Title also, and then obviously for you, what is the best date for you to close? Again, more for you to read. This talks about when you will have possession of the property. Will you have possession upon closing and funding? And that's kind of big. So you close, but it's also important if you fund, that means the loan went through. So you might go to the closing table, but it might not fund until like 3 o'clock. So you would have to wait and it is yours upon funding, or according to a temporary residential lease. So you're letting someone stay in the home a little bit longer, and then you would have to have another form for that. Special provisions. This is just anything else that isn't in this contract form. Typically we don't put much here, but it's really intended for something that, the buyer would like to put in or the seller would like to put in. Other expenses. So this is just asking for additional money from them. Sometimes people do that for them to buy down their interest rate or to contribute to, anything, closing costs. Again, more definitions for you to read: default, mediation, attorney fees, escrow. What is all that? Representations, federal tax requirements. And then here we're just going to put your information and the seller's information here and what documents we're going to be adding on for you to sign. And then that's it. The brokerage information is here. And then at the very, very end, once the option fee is delivered, that will be a receipt. Earnest money is delivered, that will be a receipt. Contract will be a receipt. And you will get this back to you all signed from the title company. Okay, if you have any other questions, please let me know. And I hope this helped.